Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. This might not be the video that I would choose to do or the subject matter that I'd really want to do. I'm not doing this for sensationalism. I know most people who visit Vegas want to hear about the 5 best places to eat shrimp, what's going on with this show, what's going on with that show. However, I've been noticing a trend here in Las Vegas that needs to be discussed because I want people to be aware. I want people to be safe, and I want to make sure that everyone has the best experience here in Las Vegas. So recently there's been somewhat of an outbreak in, how would I say, situations here in Las Vegas. And recently I was made aware of a situation that ended up with an individual being banned. And I want to get into that. I don't want to see that happen to you. It is more of a cautionary tale than anything else. I do not want to make this video for sensationalism or anything to that effect, but I want people to be aware of how Las Vegas handles its situations, such as the one I'm going to describe shortly, and we'll get into it right after this. We all know Las Vegas is Sin City. We all know that it's an adult playground. We also know that, to a degree, things do tend to get fueled by alcohol or whatever the case may be, and people still have in their mind the concept of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's not necessarily the case anymore, especially with everyone carrying around a cell phone with video, being able to live stream, not only myself, which I do full time, but people just do. It's so easy to pop on Facebook or YouTube and put up a live stream of what's going on here in Vegas. Now, lately, before I get into the story that I'm going to tell you, I've been noticing a higher proportion of, I don't know if I'd call them incidents, but a higher proportion of things that I'm aware of, things that you should be aware of, such as a higher proportion of working ladies being in town, working the casinos. For me, I could care less. For you, that might be cool. But overall, I've been noticing more in town, and I've been noticing them being more aggressive in town. I've been noticing more and more people going from slot player to slot player, selling the fake jewelry. I don't know if you've ever encountered one, but I encounter them all the time. Hey, I got this jewelry, and they put out their hand, and it's a bunch of, it's basically fake. It's not even remotely real. Oh, just give me $100. This gold chain itself is worth $2,000. And, a lot of times they're women, so you get to drop your guard. I've been presented with fake AirPods, fake cell phones, you name it, people approach you. And it's been a thing in Vegas forever. I mean, let's not delude ourselves about that. However, it's been growing more and more. The other thing that I've been noticing growing more and more is people approaching people at slot machines and on the properties asking for money. They see you win a jackpot. Maybe they're like, hey, can you toss me $20? Hey, I need a bus ride home. Hey, the old story. Yeah, I got my family around the corner, and I need gas to get back to Oklahoma, whatever the case may be. Me being a person that I live here in Vegas, obviously, and I spend anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week on the strip. So maybe, and I would say yes, not even maybe, I see more things than the average tourist does. I'm more immersed in what's going on. I'm not, how would I say, influenced by the glitz and the glamour. I mean, I look down, I see the things that maybe your average tourist would not, the things that I might find annoying, like being approached at a slot machine, being approached, leaving an ATM, things like that. Hey, you got a couple bucks, you know, they're watching you take money out. Those things are more stark because they happen more often, and they're things that I'm looking for to protect myself, having spent so much time there. If you just come to town once a year, you're gonna blow little things like that off. However, I do not want you to start blowing little things like that off because, again, I have a little cautionary tale of an event that I was made aware of. And again, I was not there. This is, how would I say, allegedly happened. You know, I have to say that I was not there. This is a story that I was told through someone else, by someone else, of a recent event that happened here in Las Vegas. And I wanted to tell everyone how the town handles it, how the properties handle situations, being approached by people, how would I say, grifting, and what the casinos are doing about it, and what they will do to you should you get involved in said incident and or confrontation. And let me just quickly say, I would love to run the video of this first thing I need to talk about before I get to that story. Yes, I'm putting off the story because it's not the most pleasant story on earth, but we're going to talk about it nonetheless. Many of you know that at MGM Grand, there was a huge melee fight right in the casino. People got messed up. You can go and Google it, and I was tempted to put that up here, but again, not into the sensationalism, not into displaying that on YouTube. You know how YouTube is, so it is just a thing, but go and Google it. A huge melee. Yes, security came. I don't know the outcome. I don't know if there was any arrests. I don't know who did what to who and how and when and why. Again, I was not there, but it's making the rounds. This is national level stuff, and it's not the first time. There's starting to be a level of hostility and short-fusedness, if that's even a word, here in Las Vegas, and I want you guys to avoid it. So let's get into this story. Again, I will preface by saying I was not there, and it is all based on allegedly what happened. But again, I do trust the source. So this is what happened. An individual was at a slot machine. They were approached and, hey, can you give me some money? Hey, can you give me some money? Hey, can you give me some money? Give me money, give me money. The individual, from what I understand, via hearing this story, had a couple bucks on the slot machine waiting. You know, it's flat in front, waiting, and the phone and all this other. They were waiting for their cocktail waitress to arrive with their drink. I do the same. I pull out my cash in advance. Maybe that's not such a good idea anymore. Leave it there. You know, hey, what? It's cameras everywhere. So put the money waiting for the cocktail waitress. This individual approached the other individual who was a player who was playing the slot machine and said, hey, can you have some money? Can I have some money? Can I have some money? Can I have some money? Hey, you got a couple bucks there. I could really use that couple bucks. No. And the individual who was playing was saying, no, leave me alone. Blah, 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 whatever. I, again, wasn't there, but this is what was relayed to me. And this happens, like I said, all the time. It has happened to me. And for the most part, individuals go away. You say, no, me personally, I'm going to stop leaving my phone and my property and my money out there right on the slot machine. I suggest you do the same because that will eliminate the potential for things happening. But things being what they are, the individual kept persisting, and then finally decided, I'm going to take matters into my own hand and reach out to the couple of bucks. It wasn't even a lot of money. We're talking a couple of bucks to tip a cocktail waitress. Reached out for the money. When the individual saw the arm coming over to grab the money, a normal reaction, an absolute normal reaction, in my opinion, would be to stop the individual from taking your money or your property or your phone or whatever. That's what occurred. And again, allegedly, That's what occurred, and the individual who was doing the reaching across to grab the money then proceeded to, I'm trying to find the right word to say so YouTube does not have a problem. How should I say? An incident transpired, and the slot player came out on the losing end. And this person, I would say, it was pretty bad. It was in a big casino, popular casino that we all know. This individual was the slot player who was simply defending himself from what I would consider perhaps a strong arm event, if you know what I'm saying. Just wanted to get the person away and prevent this individual from taking that couple of bucks. Now you could say, hey, it's just a couple bucks, whatever. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just instinctual. Someone reaches for your property, you at the bare minimum are going to have some type of reaction. So this person really didn't have a reaction from what I understand, just to say no and block the person from grabbing the cash, or it was even potentially the phone, whatever property was there. But, we're talking about the cash here. And this person was rendered unconscious. I'm talking about the slot player, what might be considered the victim, rendered unconscious. Eventually, security does arrive. The person who was the strong armor disappeared, left the property. I don't know whether this individual left the property with the couple of bucks or what. But from what I understand, it happened extraordinarily fast. Again, rendered unconscious. That introduces some memory issues, whatever. Hence the thumbnail and the title. When this person was brought to, again, security was there and everything, they were told that basically they needed to go to the hospital because, again, they were rendered unconscious on the property, and that's the property protecting themselves. I get that. I've seen that. I'll fast forward a little bit. The individual had to pay for their own hospital bills, their own medical ambulance, whatever. I don't know if that's going to be worked out in the future, but I don't even know if they remembered. But from what the recollection that the individual had, they said they didn't want to be brought to a hospital, but they were told they're going. So, after you're rendered unconscious, do you really have a choice in the matter for just your own safety, for the property's safety? And can you really remember yes, no, and whatever, you know what I'm saying. This individual did indeed pay for their own medical bills. I don't know if the property's going to step up or anything like that. Now, what happened was the property said, well, unfortunately, it is our policy to deny you access to our properties for a year. So basically, the individual who was, you can call a victim perhaps, is banned from going back to the properties, and they own several properties in town, for 1 year. They will be trespassed. They were trespassed. Takes place for 1 year. They are not allowed in the property, on the property, not to eat, not to play, not to stay, nothing. And when questioning that, they were told it is just our policy. Whoever, if you're involved in an altercation on our property, we don't care who is the aggressor nor who is the quote unquote victim. If you were involved in an altercation on our property, everyone is getting banned, aka 86'd, for a year. Now, could you fight this? Potentially. Again, this is what I've heard. This is, again, allegedly what's been related to me. You probably could fight it. You probably, have somewhat of a leg to stand on, but to fight for your right to go and stay at a property that wanted to trespass you, I doubt I would do it. But the bottom line of this story, even though it's not the most pleasant story, I would rather, talk about some exciting event that took place, but this is kind of an exciting event, but just on the negative side, is be aware that if you do decide to defend yourself on a property, there is the potential to be 86'd from that property. whether you were in the right, whether you were in the wrong. If somebody follows you, you just cashed out, you made a big win on the Buffalo, you went over to the cash machine, someone follows you, someone accosts you, someone says, hey, give me a couple bucks, oh, you got 300, you know, you could spare a 20, which is the vibe. If you defend yourself, or somebody bumps into you with a drink, spills it on your beautiful shirt, whatever it is, bumps into your woman or your man and doesn't apologize, and hey, you bought me, you know, things escalate because there's alcohol involved sometimes. If you do get into an altercation, the likelihood is being 86 from the property. Will police arrive? Well, a lot of it's handled internally, and security comes, breaks things up. I mean, I guess it depends the level of offense. In this case, that was related to me, the individual, after accosting the slot player, disappeared into the casino, went out the door, never to be seen again. So obviously he's not being 86, or she, whatever it was. That's pretty bad. So bear in mind, or how shall I say, keep your head on a swivel and keep level-headed. I would say do not, under any circumstances, leave money in front of you at a bar, at a slot machine. This was a pretty insignificant amount of money in the grand scheme of things. So I guess what you're supposed to do, quote unquote, would be, one, walk away from altercations. You know, oh, that's, no, I got to defend myself. And in some cases, you do have to defend yourself. If you're being accosted, I can't tell you whether to defend yourself or not, but just know that the act of getting involved in an altercation on a property here in Vegas is most likely gonna lead to you being 86'd for a year or forever. Who knows? And possibly your arrest as well. Right or wrong. Do not keep money on the slot machines. Do not keep money on the bar. Be very cautious around ATMs. When you're withdrawing money, when you're cashing out tickets, look around. Is anyone following you? Is anyone watching you? I'm not saying that, it's the casinos and the properties are unbelievably crime-ridden and all this, but it does happen. I saw a fight over a drink maybe about 2-3 weeks ago. I saw an altercation over a poker hand that took place, of all things, during the World Series of Poker. Shit does happen, and I want you to avoid it. So mind your money, mind where you're putting it, mind the people around you, and if at all possible, try to walk away. Sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and whatever, deal with it. The drink spilled, who stepped on your foot, who did this and that. And what the properties would probably tell you, and I cannot speak for the properties, is, hey, there was no need to defend yourself because we have cameras everywhere and security everywhere. And I can tell you by experience, cameras on the properties are not there for your protection for the most part. They are there for the casino's protection for the most part. I will drop a link to a video of an incident that I was involved with over at the Rio. Police involved. I was defending a woman's honor, and I ended up the bad guy. You can watch that whole video after you're done with this video, and I'm just going to tell you, be safe. If you can walk away, be a good steward of your property and things, and just because it's Vegas, don't lose sight of the fact that things happen here in Las Vegas. Be aware of your money, your friends, your property, your phone, and all that good stuff, but have a great time. So I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all the stuff. And if you want some awesome, raw, and frickin' uncensored live streaming, that's what I'm all about. And I do it over at brorfredrik.com. You can see that down in the corner. And I got all the links, I got all the descriptions, and I think I even have a coupon code for you to get 20% off your subscriptions. Hey, Bror Fredrik, did I just trip over my own website? Let's say that again. Hey, brorfredrik.com. That's where I do all my live streaming. That's where I talk about how to get healthy, wealthy, wise, and stay freaking informed. And I want the best for you. I want you to have the best experience here in my lovely town of Las Vegas. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.